She cries your name 3 times again. She cries your name. How long can this love remain?
Beth Orton is an English musician, singer and songwriter, particularly known for the Folktronica genre. She started her career in 1993 and she's still going. She's released 8 studio albums, although the first one of those was released in limited numbers in Japan only and was quite a different style. She is known for her collaborations with electronic musicians like William Orbit and the Chemical Brothers. Hi, my name's Dan. So this was Beth Orton's second studio album, but she apparently tends to think of it as her first, or certainly talks about it as if it was her first in interviews, because she discounts the first release, which was, I think, 500 copies only, says Wikipedia, and only released in Japan. So now, of course, it's a rarity. I have heard some of these songs before. I've got a compilation of hers that has some of these songs, but I didn't feel particularly familiar with them. I was a little bit surprised when I kind of checked, looking through what I've got. I wasn't surprised to find that I've got one of her albums, but I was surprised that there were some of the songs in there because I didn't feel familiar with any of the songs as I went through. Wikipedia says that this is considered as being the first Folktronica album, so that's a combination of using acoustic folky sounds, songwriting, acoustic guitar and singing and that sort of thing, and then introducing electronic elements in there as well, kind of like the electronica music genre. So in here, we've definitely got acoustic guitar, we've got the singing, we've got, again, the information I picked up from Wikipedia didn't include a list of who played what instruments. So, but I definitely picked out this, I'm pretty sure there's some mandolin in here, there's some resophonic guitar, sometimes called a dobro or a national guitar. There's some strings. I don't know if they're real strings or synth strings. I couldn't quite tell on that. And then, of course, there's some electronic stuff. So synth sounds, and sounds that you'd say were less musical and more effecty in there. And the drums, I would say, also kind of tend towards the trip-hop kind of stuff. Again, I'm not an expert, so I might have got my terminology wrong, but it's what I think it was trip-hop anyway. Her voice reminds me of somebody. I'm not quite sure who. It's possible that because I've got an album of hers that she reminds me of herself. That's the sort of thing that happens in my head. It's a fairly nice voice. It's got a folky tone. She's got a bit of a in her voice, and that doesn't come out right in a male voice. There were tiny tuning issues here and there, I felt, but generally a reasonably strong voice. The songs are about, I didn't really pick it up. There's stuff about love and relationships and that kind of thing. I would say my favourite track on the album is the second track, which is called Tangent, which is probably the most electronic out of the tracks here. It's maybe when it first came out, the reaction with people was, oh, this is interesting and different and weird and whatever. To me, it didn't feel particularly odd, and that probably is a feature of two things. So that firstly, that this sort of blend has become more acceptable, but also because they make the blend work, basically. So there's sometimes you put things together and you go, how would that possibly work? And then you actually hear it and you go, oh yeah, all right, you can make it work like that. And this is definitely that kind of thing. Musically, it works pretty well, I would say. Other than the kind of electronic elements, in my head, she's in the kind of female vocal singer-songwriter space. So I would reference other people like Katie Tunstall, Katie Melua, Amy McDonald, people like that. And if you're a fan of that kind of female singer-songwriter thing and you are okay, or in fact definitely like electronica stuff, then you might like this. And I have to say, I quite enjoyed it. Is a reasonably good album. So that's what I think. As always, please do tell me what you think, and that's it for me for now.